contestant number 1, Mr. Jason Irwin. Stand with hands in on the stereo. Along with his selection keypad. And our trainer challenge, a red 3.5 years young Piper.
Y'all hear me all right? All right. Now, if you've seen any of my previous sessions, actually, who's seen some previous sessions? Okay. Now, everything I do, I start back where I began. Let's just say I start sort of where I ended. I refresh. I'm just going to walk this horse around the pen real quick. I'm not going to spend a long time on this, but I just want to see the sights.
See the sights get activated here in the Caribbean Arena. Of course, it is a brand new venue for the horses. We spent sessions 1 through 4, 1 hour in duration, 4 hours of training across the way in the OK Tire demo ring. And so here, a whole new venue, a whole different set of variables. Instead of people all around, now they're all on one side, which is a big component. The audio is a little different. Now all these obstacles out here, and of course, the big addition is the 2-horse bumper pull from our friends at Fletcher's Horse World. But really at this point, it's everything that went into it, and they are judged on how they do each one of the obstacles and components on the ground and on the saddle, and they have 25 minutes to do everything here in the arena. And the pace that you've been working with Piper on, Jason, you should be able to get this done in the next 5 or 6 minutes, $1 a day, huh?
Well, I think we can move along in theory. We'll just see how this Colt kind of takes things. If we want them to be relaxed, so I don't push, but if they're accepting, I move on. That's kind of my theory. I don't like to drill and drill, but if they're kind of on the right track, I don't see any point in overkill. I think there's a lot of horses these days that don't really end up on the right track, because I think they only pick 1 or 2 exercises and just kind of repetitive work. Now this Colt, he's a little fidgety, but I'm not going to hold that against him. The reason being, there's quite a big difference between that round pen, which he's been in quite a few times now. Like quite a few of them forward. And
4 whole times.
4 times.
It's a lifetime.
Haven't even got a good massage yet.
Oh, fun.
It's like that.
Something like that.
Fancy stuff. People with little top hats that eat biscuits do it.
Oh, well, Connell says the pants to do that in now, so.
I saw that. Looking pretty good. Sweet.
It's 50 cinch jeans next to Western Fair District. So this is being judged, we're not just chatting. We're seeing how well Piper stands to be tagged.
Well, like I said, he moved a little bit, but I don't think he can.
And the first time we did it was at the 32-minute mark in session number 1. That was Friday afternoon.
Something I've been pointing out since day 1 with this Colt is he doesn't like that cinch. So he's getting a little nippy there. It wasn't that he was trying to get mean, it's that he's kind of biting at his belly. And that's just kind of something I'm not going to get after him forward, because as he becomes more accepting of the cinch, that problem will take care of itself. And I've got, when you start out, I'll recommend them for doing something wrong, but I don't try and pick on them for little things. I'll get a little improvement, like I say, and move on. Like that, I just blocked them. I didn't swat them on the nose or anything like that. So it's not going to, you're not going to turn a little thing into a big thing. Now, during the ground pen sessions, I can have a little more time, but on this course here, 25 minutes isn't very long, and that hour goes fast. This thing will go real fast. Now, if you would, Joe, if you kind of give me a little bit of an indication, like 5 minutes in or whatever, and that, just so I have a bit of a gauge to go by.
Yeah, we're just about 5 minutes in, another 20 minutes, 20 seconds to go.
I'm supposed to lunge on a loose line. I think we can call that loose. And look at that hip. We're going to send it away. We're going to do it again the other way. Oh, his breast collar's got a little twist to it. I'll have to fix that when we get soft. But right now, it's not hurting nothing. I'll just get it in a second. Now let's step it into a trot. See that nose? That head's kind of in. It's not stuck up in the air looking somewhere else. That face is soft. That neck is soft. And that's going to translate into his written work. The softer you get them, the better they are. Let's move that head again. And help just a wee bit there, but he's still got it done. So I'm pretty pleased with that.
This one software on this line. Check mark.
Just fix this breast collar, like I said.
Yeah, you've been adjusting back here, measuring twice, more than once.
Well,
Which also helped us, of course, because we were a little bit cinchy.
yeah.
10 seconds out, so all along, just keep moving those switches back and forth. Obviously, it's paying off, right? You're in good shape here in North Valley.
Well, they said that being a little cinchy, and he's not bad, but he's more than I think the crowd or folks in the stand would notice. But I kept feeling that little bit of cinchiness, so I kept on going at it, just tightening a little at a time. Now I'm going to trot this way too. I walk trot one way, I want to do it the other. I don't want to do it on one side and pour the other way. Again, I'm not pulling hard, I'm just going to guide them around, move that hip again. Stop them. Bring them to me. I loose enough?
Very.
And you see with this adjustment all the time, when you look at the scheme of things, I lose them in here and in there, and maybe I gain a whole lot of time over the source's lifetime. Because I cut this issue off maybe before it becomes an issue. So now I'm getting pretty winded over the last few days, so I can't even remember some stuff on the sheet, but I'll go with what I know, and then you might have to help me along.
Along the ground, you've done to still go is stance quietly, gives all feet, ground tie, and willingly accepts mounting to complete our on the ground components. Those that just joined us today here Sunday at All Line saw the first official session where we went around the all four. And session number 4, we picked up all feet on Piper, about 18 minutes into the session. Session number 4. After just 3 hours and 18 minutes straight into the competition and under the guidance and direction of our trainer.
There's 4.
Very nice.
Obviously, I'd like to stand still like a statue. For a Colt that's been ridden very low, and being in here, I think that's okay. I say, this is quite a scary. You notice a big difference sometimes when you go to the round pen, go to the field or something like that, because they've got so used to just following the fence. So when they get out of that area, they don't do quite as well. But they just have to learn the same lessons again, just in a different place. But you can go a lot bigger those times if you laid a good foundation.
That's definitely the foundation and the tools to succeed, not only here in the championship finale, but also in Piper's next career.
Well, like I said, my whole game in here is to get this horse good for somebody else. Nobody cares what the trainer can do. Unless you're paying them to actually go show for you or something like that, win your world championship, they want that horse trained so they can ride it. So it does no good to get one just where I can handle it.
Well, that's it, as we've done all that sensitizing and desensitizing, so that any sort of variable or condition or situation that you can think of that you may simulate, so you get a positive and proper reaction from the horse.
Well, my whole deal is I'm
big steps mounting. And we can check out our sheets.
I can feel that he's just kind of a typical old piper. He's just as little as tight. So I'm going to walk him around for a minute here before I start worrying about the funny stuff, the obstacles and things like that. Yeah, I don't stare at 4-2, don't you?
We'll allow it. Thank you, London City Chrysler. They actually supplied the vehicles and trainers and stuff and crew that went back and forth with.
I guess I shouldn't have been.
No, that's no, you're doing the right thing. I mean, we didn't have a Dodge, we wouldn't put a Dodge on there, but we're taking people to airports, so we said, what do you have left? It was either that or on a Civic, so.
I guess that was probably a little better. Now, we're just going to step up. See if I can drop this Colt. He's going a little quick, and I just slowly bump his face just a smidgen, just to hold him to that easy drop. I don't want the hard stuff, I don't want that bone wrenching, bang, bang, bang.
The game and spur that we talked about this morning, yeah.
Yeah, the more relaxed that we can get him, the better. Now, something I've said all along with this fella is he gets tired, and he's done a lot, and he's kind of just a little bit upset, just because he's kind of had enough. So I'm going to go through this course and try to not make any of this too tricky for him. I just want to have him do it easy. So that's a pretty relaxed job right there. I'm going to put him to a walk if I can, and that face touches a little bit now we're on a walk. There was no pull on her, that was just a light little touch. And that's kind of what I'm aiming for. I want to be light. The lighter I start off, the lighter I'm going to end. So now I'm just going to.
Yeah, the thing I noticed too is closer to the cemetery and not those walls, we're trying to get away from that reliance on that mountain end that we've been working on for 4 hours now, large arena here, the Hearing Arena.
Well, my theory was sound, I think. About working off the mountain and all, but I just didn't. He kind of running out of air, and I just couldn't do too much more as far as turning and making speed up and that. I didn't want to kind of wear him out. Now I'm going to drop to a walk.
My sheets have walk and trot both directions. I think went both ways on that one, so.
Good there?
Yeah.
Let's get on to the next one, I guess.
Well, under saddle, you still have locus circle to the left on the correct lead, the same to the right, and then stop and back up. Those are two separate components.
Well, that's pretty relaxed for a Colt. It was so lumpy. Steering not so much, but relaxed. Again, he's getting tired. Actually, I'm going to leave that for a second. I might just
We can come back to it for sure.
find a chance here to give a rest and say you're kind of going where I want you to go and what I want you to do. Stop him. I'm going to hold him there. Loose rein. He stopped.
We'll call that a stop.
Back up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go. 7, 8, 9, 10 for long. Good luck. He stopped. That's what I'm doing. Like, I know I'm repeating myself, but a lot of our training is repetitive. You're trying to drum a few points in the gentlest way you can. And this is a little touchy for me, knowing kind of where to go from where to where. The reason being, he is tired. He's kind of letting down a little too much. He's getting to the point where he's just resisting a little bit for the sake of resisting, not because he doesn't understand. He just doesn't want to do it. There, now we worked on this bridge in the round pen. still a different deal here though. So I'll just let him smell that if he wants. Say, yeah, it's the same thing it was last time.
We use that bridge in sessions 2, 3, and 4, so you should be pretty familiar with it.
We all four up. Oh yeah. We're trying to get on with this now. Gotta cover some rails, I guess.
Yes, several ground poles. And there's 18.5 minutes on the clock.
Am I supposed to talk to the bones or what?
John, yeah.
Okay, he's getting a little tired. I don't know like that. Nonsense. Like I said, I was gonna do it all along. Oh, right at that.
They were louder here this afternoon than they were for the junior pole bending on Friday night. I don't know what happened.
Well, you won't see a lot of Colts that ride like this for 4 days or 3 days.
That is true.
Yeah, there's too much jump time, so I don't know if I have to go to Cali.
You just have to drag it if you're feeling hefty. Drag a pole 25 feet and so you're doing a lot of work with the ropes. You should be able to side pass up to it.
Actually, sometimes I work on side passing a little earlier than I have. The reason I didn't do any of that leg fielding as much is again because he's tired. I think he would just kind of resist. So I'm trying to pick battles I can win.
Well, it is a whole situation up on that, bring that rope up on the barrel. We didn't have that, but in session number 1, you spring his nose in a lot of things. We talked about horses needing their whiskers to experience and really explore. So seeing that again here in session 4.5.
This is going to be a little longer because it's going to have to turn over now. Then again, maybe that prep work actually worked. Do I have to do it the other way?
Nope. Just have to drag it 25 feet.
Is that 25?
What's about 25 feet from here? 10-4. Here we are. There's another one check off the list. So just over 6 minutes remaining. You have to swing area mounted, load in a trailer, back out. The horses to the left and the right, and do your freestyle.
We might as well just top this one off a little bit. There, and your back's up. Both of you.
Perfect. Put a smiley face up on the back of that column. So probably 9 or 10 with a smiley face. And if you win by a smiley face on your score, I want to have the Bailey saddle.
Alright. I'm not a regular broker, so bear with me.
It's all good. Very few are. I do rodeo, but you see some people roping themselves, their horses. That's why you need professional trainers like yourself. Here we are. Both sides, as we touched on too, the first time we pulled up that rope.
I think that's got that covered.
I think so, yeah. I'm impressed. You guys impressed? What do you guys think? Trailer, freestyle, and low bit, both directions on the correct lead. You are 20 minutes in, 5 minutes to go.
Actually, it's going to be a little too tricky there, but...
Of course, we were joking earlier about all the tarps that you brought. You tried to simulate that trailer, putting the black tarp down, also elevating the bridge in session number 4. Look at that. Nice. If someone here doesn't purchase them, everyone else will be able to purchase them and say, well, trailers went back, so we have to types of Ford.
That was probably the 17th circle, was going to have to be.
What color?
That's Colt, I guess. Saying he's kind of pulling, he's a little tired.
That was his offside. That's his best side. Look at that. On cover all the way. Just.
That's close enough.
3 minutes to go. Well, the other thing too is ground time.
This is the freestyle portion, I guess. I don't think this is the main one. This here, I might not be able to steer real good because, like I said, he's just not even it. But I want to show that I made him look safe. Joe, you go ahead. Just play that song, I guess.
We've seen that, and there it is. 30 seconds on the clock as we go from the little arena up into the big arena. Operating at a second Ontario wrong stop. Wow, this is what we're expecting, as I told you, expecting unexpected also that we would see some magic inside the pure